Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, how's everybody doing? What's up, J2? Spindle? Yeah, today was bad. Today was bad. There was a lot of blood. Why, market? Why? Since Spindle said, living life one day at a time, homies. XLE energy held up. Do you think we'll see a continued movement to energy? Highly unlikely. Energy has done a lot of this BS where they run up and come back down. What's up? What's up? Market on this period. Indeed. It is blood in the street today. Blood was in the street today. Afternoon. What's up, G Money? The plan for SGH holding to split. Yes, usually that's the case. Hold into split, hold until after split, hold throughout split, hold the line, hold forever. What's up, Bass Appeal? How you doing? Nice. Nice. She is. The trading group thinks this will be a big year for energy and financials. I could see it for financials. I don't really see it for energy. I could see it for financials because interest rates are going up and financials is still somewhat cheap, relatively cheap to a certain extent. But I don't see it for the energy because energy had a strong move last year. And we would have to return back to really high output of economic activity for energy to really make sense. And I'm not sure if we're at that point yet. Oh my god, Microsoft just died today. Crypto also off to a bad start. Yeah, I saw that yesterday too. What's up, J2? Hey, what's up, man? Good afternoon. A lot of pain today, man. Holy smokes. Oh, even for me, man. Jesus. So let's see. Walmart looking decent. Berkshire Hathaway new all-time highs. Financials has been pretty strong today. You got Apple looking like a reversal to the downside. Microsoft really bleeding through the street today. And then you have Oracle that looked like it was gonna make a reversal yesterday, and then today it was like psych, ain't happening. Um, Tesla coming back down pretty hard as well, giving up all that gain that it had, breaking all the like support on the way down. So today's been a rough day, man. For me, for you, for everybody. Maybe not for some of you. I don't know. I don't know. Um, let's go over some of the news today, and then we'll go over some of the earnings. What do you have on earnings today? Earnings after hours, Saratoga and RGP. Yeah. And man, I got crushed off and burned, and I didn't even really like expect to play the market a lot today. So because I knew earlier this week too, that we were in bad territory. So earlier this week I posted the market outlook, right? I posted my Monday market outlook, and I was like, yo, this is a risk off week. Risk off, risk off, risk off. Said that so many times, man. But for some reason I didn't listen to my own advice. I got caught in the FOMO, and things are getting a little bit scary, So, on Monday, January 3rd, 1:29 a.m., I was looking over these charts and I was like, hey, Omicron peak. We had a lot of fun yesterday too, right? We charted the COVID out yesterday. And I was like, look for possible plays in these longs. And I did end up playing the long in MRMA today, and I'm still holding some shorts in the travel sector. So hopefully we do fall. At least let the travel stocks fall, and let the healthcare stock run for me, please. Please, stock God, please. Um, and so I said this was a risk off week. It was a good week to like stay. In other words, it was a good week to stay cash. And then yesterday I saw the stock split on SGH, and I just liked it, man. It was a good stock split because generally when a stock does a split is very very bullish because it brings in a lot of new investors. So I did my spreadsheet, right? I'll go into SGAs right now for you. So I did the spreadsheet. SGH current price this morning was around 60.50. The split record date is I think it's 127. The split date is February 2nd. I mean February 1st. And then the approval date was yesterday, January 4th, right? So the price during announcement was $72. Right now, the stock is way below price of announcement, which is 61.52. I think that's a steal. Um, Anticipating a 10% increase, we will see this at $79. Anticipating a 20% increase, this is $86. Anticipating 30% increase, this is $96. So extremely undervalued to a certain extent, and I feel that I looked up the analyst upgrade this morning too for it. So it got two price upgrades. So Wall Street is bullish on it. And I also know for a fact that these MMs, they're not gonna buy when the stock is high. They want to buy on the cheap. So I assume they're probably loading the boat right now because this firm, had a buy rating on the stock with an $85 price target, which kind of aligned with one of the price targets we had, $86, right? 20% increase. So they had $85 price target here, and then they also had $82 price target. But for some reason whatsoever, the stock is like burning, like crashing and burning. And so obviously what do I do? I load the boat, because if it crash and burn, it's everybody's shook. I load the boat because every time I play these stock splits, the market has always paid me back. The last time we were fortunate enough to catch a good split was Nvidia when we were looking at the ERs, and they announced the split here. May 26th, 2021, they announced the earnings. And it just ran. It's just like pew 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 pew. Ran so hard, right? 150 all the way to like 210, $60 run. Ran so hard and then came back down a little bit here. And then just continue making new highs. So that was a good split last year. So stock splits are generally always bullish. Those are one of the two most bullish things that I cover on the fundamental side in terms of Wall Street hedge funds, because they either they do stock buybacks to get more people to come in, and artificially increase the price of stocks to go up higher, or B, they do stock splits. So these are two things that are generally always bullish, and they always play out really, really well, regardless of what the technical analysis is. So the other stock split that we played that played out really well was Tesla, which kind of is, I feel like this is pulling like Tesla right now, because last time when Tesla did a split in July 2020, right? They came back down, and everybody was shook. The earning was bad. It came back down. It didn't move from January 24th all the way to August 11th. It did not move. It didn't move for like good 2 weeks, man. Everybody that got in with Tesla with us was shook. They were like, "Is this gonna really run? Is it really gonna run 007? What should we do?" And and they weren't sure, But I was like, "Trust, man. Tesla's such a big stock, and when they do a split, they got to run, right?" So eventually, they started making that big move. Do 273 to $500, man. They end up running so much they ran more than they should have ever ran. So these are just some history of some other stocks that have split before, and they have historically run. I think TTD was also another one, another notable play that we have done um, in our server where the stock ran a lot. So this was also another value opportunity. TTD had earnings. If you guys don't know, this was one of my favorite companies out there, because they're like a marketing and advertising firm, and I think those are always going to be essential, and they're great at what they do. So they had really bad earnings. They were already sloping down. Had a bad earnings, came all the way back down to like $50, and they announced the split. And I was like, heck yeah, I'm buying this. I loaded the boat. It didn't move for like 5-6 days, and I was just sitting there and shaking my legs, man. I'm like shook, because I already deployed all my capital at this point and didn't move. So I started moving, finally started moving. And I ended up unloading like a lot of it just for a $10 move up, like, from 40 to 50s. Like, I mean, from 49 to 59s. And I ended up holding some, and then they kept running. And I unloaded some here and some here. So it's just been very fortunate. Just gotta have faith sometimes. I hopefully SGH does the same thing. I don't see why not, because honestly, at the end of the day, they're a very strong company. They make a lot of money. 7 consecutive quarter of making money. So I think this is just a buying opportunity, just like Tesla and TTD. So I hope that answered your question of adding more on the position. But we'll see. The only thing I am worried about is the market, because if you look at the stock market, right, um, we're seeing somewhat of a reversal pattern here. We were chopping the last few days and we couldn't move up. So let me look at the intraday time frame as well. So you can see the intraday time frame. We had this triple top here, 1, 2, 3. Quad top. We added another top here yesterday, and we've been really struggling to break above. So when we came back down to test the slime, we didn't even slowly test it or lightly test it. We just flopped right through it. So anytime when it flops right through it like that, when it just like breaks right through it, it kind of signals a lot of selling pressure, and selling pressure, a lot of selling pressure like that generally continues a little bit further. So, that could end up continuing more selling pressure to here. If this area doesn't hold tomorrow, if we don't end up closing above 471 tomorrow, um, you know, if we don't end up closing above 471 tomorrow on Spire slash ES, then I think we're most likely gonna come back down to 460s and worst case 456. So I am a little bit worried about that because obviously if we go to those levels, my SGH stock is gonna go down too. Because like I said, the indices are like the weather, and nothing is immune from the weather. So that's why I'm kind of sad today, man. Feel like I'm buying the top because I went from 80% cash to only 20% cash at this point. Maybe. Checking QQQ as well. If SPY has more downside, QQQ could break that weekly resistance. Let me see. Hmm. The Qs actually came down a lot already. You think the Q could break this resistance? Maybe the Qs will carry us. Maybe the Qs will hold this resistance here. So the Q resistance that Nasty Nate is talking about is potentially around 381 to like 379-ish. I assume that you're thinking that those can break down. Nah, I like these candles too much, man. It's too sexy. Yeah, that's one thing that I would strongly advise. Make sure you always have more time. 21 is a lot of time, so that's about 2 weeks out. I would always advise getting 2 weeks or 3 weeks out. Um, I actually don't particularly like the middle of the month because those are monthly expirations. Monthly expirations are usually like pretty ugly sometimes. That's when big moves happen. What's up, Gold though? Check SPY for tomorrow and Friday. And can you show how to use your algo? We're just checking SPY right now. We just checked out SPY and now we're looking at Nasdaq and ES. Yep. What's up? Yeah, well, I can go over a little bit about it. Because we don't really have a lot of earnings today. Usually we would go over earnings. So like tomorrow we'll probably focus a little bit more on earnings. But the algo pretty much it's pretty much like going over the concept of supply and demand. And the bottom indicator kind of helps you, let you know when the money flow coming into the stock. It lets you know when the are coming in, and this is kind of like goes to the concept for when I first started investing or trading. It's from Warren Buffett. This quote: "You want to buy when others are fearful, and you want to sell when others are greedy." And the indicator in the system help us do that. So the reason I say that is because and you can see at the weekly outlook that I post too. You can see how accurate it is or how like how well it's been working out because it's in the league channel every week, and that is just strictly based on the fact that selling when others are greedy and buying when others are fearful. It's basic as that. And early this week said it was a good time to risk off, and not just because of all these factors, but because of the most basic indicator on here that says we should we are at extreme greed. That's just the most basic indicator up here that is saying that we're at extreme greed and we could potentially come down because people usually naturally want to take profit. Have you taken a look at FOMC minutes? I'll take a look at that. FOMC meeting 1 to 126. Hmm. So let's see. Minutes from Fed's FOMC meeting shows Fed members view increasing policy accommodation provided by ongoing pace of net asset purchase no longer necessary, cites elevated inflation and straining labor market. So let's see what they're saying. So this is the copy and paste startup sentence. They're always committed to support the economy. They said job gain has been good, but that's not necessarily true. Um, they said that the risks to the economic outlook remain still, including new variants of the virus. The committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the long run. In support of these goals, the committee decided to keep the target range for the Fed fund rate at 0 to 1.1 to quarter percent, with inflation having exceeded with inflation having exceeded 2% for some time. The committee expect it will be appropriate to maintain this target range. Doesn't sound too bad. They did decide that they're going to reduce the monthly pace of the net asset purchase by 20 billion for treasury securities, and they're going to reduce by 10 billion for agency-backed mortgage-backed securities. Beginning in January, the committee will increase its holding of treasury securities by at least 40 bill per month. Wait, what? Oh, I'm not sure what last month's data was. I have to double check last month's asset purchase. I don't know if they're really increasing or decreasing. So I mean, apparently they said that they feel that the Fed they think that they could hit, they could hike as potentially being met relatively soon if recent pace of labor market improvement continues. I don't think we're gonna see improvement in labor market though. Cause then our data yesterday showed pretty was pretty ugly. They said the meeting show a couple participants cited that reports of higher inflation expectations of businesses and increased cost of living adjustment and wage negotiation as early development that could affect inflation. Oh wow. They also said that they think that the global supply chain bottleneck will persist well into 2023 at least. That's crazy. They think that's gonna go and run into 2023, man. Jesus. What else is new? It says Italy bans unvaccinated people over the age of 50 from going to work. Wow. Everybody's pushing the vaccine. Market on closing balance was 1.2 billion to the sell side. So yesterday we were 1 point something billion to the buy side. Now we're 1 point something billion to the sell side. That's getting pretty bearish. Let me catch up on the comments and some earnings. What's up, QZ? I was lucky enough to strangle my tech stocks. Very nice. Ooh, I'm gonna take a look at those later. Hey, what's up, man? Miracle. Look at XOM for a short. Possibly. A lot of these has been running up and pulling back. You have a possible trend line top here. This is either gonna break out or break down. But the momentum has been pretty strong though. That's true. To a certain extent, nothing was new in there. Good point. Good point. If the dollar is strong, then it's bad for the market. Hmm? Yo, did they change the site? They put lemon on there. Short is long. Well, Gex still has a lot of room to go. So I feel like we haven't really bottomed out in Gex yet. So that means we could have more room. Um, but I'm not a big fan of this. I don't really actually read that a lot. That's more on Time Hawk. Let's see what the dollar index is looking like as well. Dollar index got money flow coming in too, bounced off the support. So the dollar index was actually pretty strong from a few days ago. It looked like it was gonna break down, found the support, and just looks like it wants to grind back up. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. It's usually delay as well. So what do you guys think? Buy the dip? Or you think we got one more day left? Let's look at some of the earnings from today. Gonna wait to see Gex number for confirmation. Not a bad idea. Buying a dip. Mario said. No money left. Got my magic says. Ouch. Tomorrow's JTW's choppy Thursday. Possibly. Berkeley Lights sees full year 21 sales 84 to 84.5 as opposed to 90. They said sales grow year over year is 30%. How has the stock been growing year over year? Stock has been declining year over year. Not sure why. Saratoga Investment also reported earnings today. Earnings per share 79 cents as opposed to 54 cents. This is a 28% increase compared to the same period last year. Hmm. So they have a repurchasing plan available for up to 600,000 shares. They said they will buy anytime the stock falls below the price, um, the NAV price. So 29.17. Right now is 29.02. So I'm guessing anytime it's so this is probably something that's interesting to watch. It hasn't moved a lot because they're like an investment company and they have a lot of book money and things like that. But if we ever get a dramatic drop in this stock, um, probably good opportunity to buy. Good opportunity to buy. Credit bull spread. What did you buy the credit spread on? So RGP also reported as well 47 cents earnings per share as opposed to 33 cents estimate. The sales is 200 mil as opposed to 189 mil. This is a 123% increase compared to the same period last year and 30% increase in sales compared to the same period last year. They do consulting and business initiative support service, apparently. Revenue slowing down a little bit. The income getting better though. They're back to that 2020 levels right here. LDNC also reported earnings today. Earnings per share is negative $1.30. Does not compare to negative 4 cents. Sales, pro forma sales is 43.5 as opposed to 42.93. Since this is a huge decrease compared to the same period last year, and 66% decrease in sales compared to last year. Company stock was trading at 10s. Right now it's 1065. Could probably go lower. Let's check out Turtle Beach. Yo, Turtle Beach should get into making VR headsets. Turtle Beach full year revenue 365 million as opposed to 374, in line with guidance of 365 to 380. So it looked like they hit the lower end. Oh, they said this is actually a preliminary result that they're providing here. So I think they said they're gonna report their earnings a little bit later. So they just already released the number for this earning already. Hmm. Which is a little bit below estimates to a certain extent. Let me see, where were they trading a year ago? Company was trading around $28 a year ago, 2 year ago. Oh man, 2 year ago was like $10. It was almost dead. Even went as low as $1 and change at some point. It's crazy. Book value at $7. That was pretty much all the earnings for after hours. AT&T also released some data today. They said they added 270 fiber subscription for subscribers for Q4, delivered total post-pay addition of 1.3 million and about 880 phones. They said they ended 2021 with 73.8 million total HBO Max subscribers. Oh, this is the diet company, Simply Goods. This is the company that sells like Crest brands and Atkins and stuff. They also reported earnings this morning. EPS is 43 cents as opposed to 35 cents. Sales is 281 mil as opposed to 265 mil. Let me see what the press release is looking like. The income is kind of weak. Wonder what happened there. Supply chain costs, inflation. So international business declined 27% due to Europe business exit. No share buybacks. Hmm. So a year ago, the company was trading around $30. Right now, it's at 38. Had about 48% increase in earnings per share and 21% increase in sales. Crunch the numbers. Puts around 37.50. So it's kind of trading like pretty close range to that revenue increase estimate. RPM International also reported earnings. This is I think the Rust-Oleum paint company. So earnings per share was 79 cents as opposed to 83 cents. Sales is 1.64 billion as opposed to 1.55. 25% decrease in earnings compared to the same period last year, while having 10% increase in sales compared to last year. So that must have mean that revenue had increased, but margins took a hit. Probably due to supply chains or inflationary costs. Wow, they said that was a record second quarter sales. So RPM is supposed to be a world leader in specialty coating and sealants. Or so they said. This is supply chain challenge cost them about 200 mil. Um, that's only 1.2. It's point 0.2. Um, but they said the price increase was offset by their growth program. Wow, and they built a new facility that they purchased last year in September. Raw material purchase is an issue for them. But they said despite these supply chain challenges, they're still gonna make more money. It's just gonna hit their margins. Nothing else. No share repurchase or anything. I think that's pretty much all the earnings for today. Um, just looking forward to tomorrow. We played the lotto for Bed Bath and Beyond before market opens. Then we have Walgreens, we have STZ, we have Conagra, Lamb Western. Could have played a lot more, honestly, but it's just an iffy week. Just not sure where overall market direction and things want to go. So that's why it didn't really end up playing much. I guess I could have potentially played STZ because that's usually pretty flat earnings. We could have burned some premium there. Um, and then Lamb Western might surprise us with interesting earnings as well. But we'll see. We'll see where Bed Bath and Beyond leave us tomorrow because if Bed Bath and Beyond end up having a pretty great earnings, this could be a big mover. I could see this move back to like that $20 level if they end up killing that ER. Because we're also at a potential double bottom too here, double bottom support, and just half a move from the double bottom support would be back to this $20 range, and we have a lot of lotto on that, so that could we could bank off a lot from that. But we'll see what things look like. This is supposed to be one of their first positive quarters in a while. 1.95 billion estimate. Um, but they've been missing the earnings for the last few quarters as well. So we'll see. I would say all the FUD was given out yesterday when we were charting the COVID cases. I don't think we did look at a few things. We're at some interesting support on Nasdaq, where so Nasdaq could come back to this range here if that range holds and we bounce from here. That's great. That could potentially carry us. I'm surprised we actually got a 3% drop on the Nasdaq today. The Dow Industrial actually finding that top, that was almost too easy. If you didn't short Dow Industrial at the top today, not sure what you were doing. Just kidding. Baba, we talked a little bit about Baba last week. How it was potentially a scam, maybe because we when the Baba ran the 30th, right? We had a huge run, pull back all week. Looks like they're getting some momentum again. I guess maybe they want to shift into that sector, but no. I looked at the Hong Kong index last night and didn't look that good. It was looking pretty bearish. So I'm not sure. We would have to break out. I don't think we're gonna break out. I think we're gonna break down, and I think we're gonna break down some more. So whatever strength that you see, I think is gonna give it up because they tend to follow our market, and so overnight session they're gonna follow our market some more. and they're gonna continue to break down some more, possibly. But some of these stocks they broke down so much. It's like, how much more can they go? Look at JD already at the double bottom here. Charlie doubled down on Alibaba. Jesus, ouch. I'm sorry to hear that, Kip. The thing about SE was that 10 cent was they sold so much. Just imagine one of the whales, like just imagine a big whale selling their position. When they reported that they sold about 14.5 million shares at 208 per share. Ugh, that's a lot, man. That's a huge position. So that's a big position, man. Right? That's a 3 billion stake. I mean, and we caught that news early too. We caught that news before that news came out, right? Um, that could be the thing that kind of snowballs this all the way back down because I mean, look how far SE has ran, right? Remember when Baba was that high, and I was so delusional. Some of us bought Baba, over here, thinking this was the bottom. I wasn't delusional about buying Baba, but I was a little bit delusional about buying this stock Baidu. A lot of these made big parabolic moves, and I'm not catching this knife no more. I'm waiting for this knife to come back down to $93 to buy some share. I'm not buying it anywhere on these levels unless it comes back down here. So Baba was the only one that came down pretty close to a good level to buy, which was 110s. Which is these two levels here, right? So that was a decent level for Alibaba to buy. But a lot of the other tickers, I think we have a lot of room and a lot of potential to go. So a lot of things. Trust me, man. You might even see more than 180s. Because once we lose that 190 range, you don't want to know, man. You don't even want to know how much more it can go. So we need to reclaim 200, honestly, for your sake, for you guys' sake, because once it loses the 180s, it's gonna set up what's called a death cross. I mean, technically, already death cross, almost. And death cross usually takes a while to recover. So already death cross up here. But what goes down must come up, right? Eventually, eventually. And you know what? The other thing is, I don't think Asia is recovering that well either, though. That's the other problem. It's like if SE ran so much, why isn't Amazon running so much? Oh yeah, what about that Grab IPO? Haven't looked at that in a while. Oh, Grab IPO did come back down. Came back to fives. Didn't quite get the sevens though. Wow. Apparently Didi owns a holding in Grab. That's interesting. How about Roku and PayPal? Roku came back to the $200 level. We've been looking at Roku the last few times, right? It was struggling to break above this 233 range here. And didn't break above. It came back down, touching the 197. Now it's got a hole. If it doesn't hole, um, this is either a buy the dip opportunity or the beginning of a further downfall. What is this? What is the next level? Like 166? That's huge downfall. PayPal? I guess maybe we could see another opportunity around the $180 area if PayPal comes back down a little bit more. That might be interesting. It's also struggling to break above as well. A lot of stocks are struggling to break up. Amazon back at the bottom of the trend line. If this is not a buying opportunity, I don't know what is. Cup of Magic. I don't know what is. Wow, Bitcoin broke down pretty hard too. Ouch. Did Bitcoin just die? Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Just come to 41,000 already, Bitcoin. Let's come to 41 so we can get a good bounce. Let's come to freaking 41, man. Sheesh. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh. No. No. I'm ending it here, man. This is too depressing. This is too depressing. Oh. We'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have better news. For those of us in the earnings challenge, hopefully hopefully we make a lot of money from Biff Bath and Beyond, and it carries our mood up. But Jesus, man, this is ugly. I'll see you guys, man. Take care.